Let's say this is your navel. The life and the death is here. Because remember, when they say death, anytime a person says a word, you can say the opposite to that word because they'll always exist together. There's nothing that exists without the opposites, even us. So the natural opposite to life is death. So the life and death component, which we will call the genitalia, right? Penis and vagina, is actually not located at the center of the body. It's slightly below. And this is why there is a tarot card that shows the devil, right? Which again is just a feminine fertility symbol as we know it. And then man and woman being chained to that fertility symbol, meaning that is what is keeping them there. So now when we look back into reality, we have to admit that even now, especially if you're not even handsome, this is the first level. So the transmutation of this. We'll talk about appearance versus character, right? It's a very important thing. Appearance versus character. Yeah, I made it on the board. Okay. So appearance, right now, a person really looks at you from the eye, from here, right? They're looking at you from here because the first time they see you, they say, is he attractive to me? Or is she attractive to me? So right away when you send that signal, you actually send it from there. So this is how we're also using that eye or that filter from the lower world to see things. That's the first thing that goes on. Again, this is not bad. This is not good. Just keep the knowledge. So what happens is that now when that energy is sent, what it's saying is, how do they appear to me based on my taste and my liking? And so that's right away what we're limited to with a person. When we do that, we've already limited to ourselves to that. We ate that, we received that, now we reap that, now we will sow that, right? But there's a transcendence of this because a lot of people that may even not be, let's say, perfectly phi-based in appearance, start to realize that it's actually your character. And this is why you see people that, you know, from what the world has judged now as what beautiful is, are not really in that category, but they have millions of people following them. Why? Character. So it shows us that the transmutation of appearance is character. You know, that should be up here. So, right? Just to keep it clean in the mind. Transmutation of appearance is character. Start thinking about your external body and that person's external body. You start thinking about their character and where they're really at, and you know, how they thinking, and so that's also how you keep yourself out of certain problems. How many times have you been in trouble because you looked at the appearance, you hooked up with someone or did something, bought something, and then realized in the inside that it didn't have any character or the character was corrupt, right? So there's a transmutation. There's a simple example of a trait that's transmuted. So now what we're going to talk about is how to transmute this trait here, the rewards of transmuting what we would call sexual energy, understanding how to build sexual energy, but also realizing that your body is an alchemical chamber that must manage that sexual energy hermetically, and then also give that sexual energy, which is life, the ability to transmute itself in order for you to go to another level. Because see, down here, what's being shown is that you will still be mastered by any entity that is here. So let me draw this out again as the diamond body. Okay. Bam, bam. And now we have the center here. And if this is where the genitalia are, you know, sometimes triangle up, sometimes triangle down, then anything that's even here can actually master over you. This is actually a system of mastery. If you're not in the center, then there's always some kind of duel going on, even in what we would perceive as the higher worlds. You personally as a being have to learn how to neutralize energies. That is your power, that's your ability, that's your gift. The vessel in itself is actually diametrically opposed, lower world, upper world. Each of them need each other. If this foundation isn't here, this comes crashing down. This wouldn't even have been here if this didn't get here first, because this is where the seed germ is coming from. But now the thing is where are you going? Can you go from here to here in your perception in the world? Because you see now it's hamburgers and booties, basically. That's the B's. The reason why it's B is because A is a auroch in the ancient language. B is a bovid. And this is why we have these terms in the English language, A, B as our first letters, because when you take A and you turn it upside down, you get this symbol. Again, you get this symbol, which is the horns. And then this was the symbol of cattle, because cattle were, in this tense, not only a correlation to the matriarch, but also correlation to the money then, because all cattle were, and more cattle you had, the more wives you had, the more children you could have, the more farms you would have. And then the auroch became the bovid, because this is also known as mobile wealth. And both of these are cow type beings. And the reason why even now you see all this beef eating is because it's a direct metaphysical blow at the divine feminine to eat the actual, our own mother, to eat the milk, and to eat, you see what I mean? So just understand psychologically, when they do this kind of thing, when they bring death to fertility, they're simultaneously bringing death to your prosperity, okay? And how you transmute that, because, you know, now that you realize what's going on, if you're here, you can move your sexual energy from here to here by not, when seeing someone, you can also choose to go from here to here. There's experiences that we're all going to have. See, it's not, when we say, oh, you know, it's going to be on another level, even if those levels are here, there's experiences. We're having experiences now. And because of those experiences, our soul is continuously growing. So based on what you want to do, then, if you want to play around down here, then it's going to keep taking you through the schools of what goes on down here. If you decide you want to go on up here, it's going to take you through the schools of what goes on up here. And it's likewise, if you want to be here, if you decide that you want to be in that zone of neutrality, right? So, but this is how you at least get there. But the other thing is, because people are experiencing a lot of oppression in this reality, it's because something's on top of them. And that's when you get this kind of symbol, where you get an eye here, not saying the original symbol, but now the reason why this symbol is used now heavily with the destroyers, because they're inverting it, is they're saying, hey, we're here. We're not here yet, because if we were here, we wouldn't be doing this to you. We wouldn't even be present to be tormenting you, to give you lessons. We would have already entered the neutral zone. We're right there in that eye. And that eye, now symbolically where it would actually be, according to the navel, right below the navel, is actually the sexual center. And because they rule that sexual center, they know much more about it. That's why they got Tantra, right? There's light Tantra and there's dark Tantra. But the Tantra basically allows a person to become lord over this fertility realm. So, once again, to how to do that, because Tantra is everything. Tantra is communication. Tantra is relationship. We're doing that right now. When you see people, it's almost like you walk up to someone and you just look right at their boobs, or you look right at their abs, or you look, instead of allowing your mind to go in that direction, stay in your middle chakras. You can even go into your higher chakras, because many people need experiences from their higher chakras. They're too heavy on experiences from down here, and they need this to balance out, right? So go into your higher consciousness and start thinking, what can me and this person do together on a level of our relationship? Like, how do we connect from an information level? Do they search and do they seek their highest state of consciousness at all times? So when you start focusing on that versus these things down here, then you're deciding what kind of energy you're going to get back from that.